It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Taiba Aruz. The title of her talk, you can easily see from the screen. Yes, please carry on, Dr. Aruz.
Good morning, respected chairs and participants. Today I will talk about scientific data visualization via hybrid model. I am Taiba Aruz from LCWU, Pakistan. Basically, I'm giving talk about the intersection of fractal and scientific data and new techniques of interpolation. So the following is the layout of my talk, started with the introduction of data visualization, which will be followed by its main, particularly shed lights on the fractal methodology. After that, we will unfold my research work with conclusion. Finally, the talk will be wrapped up with references. After having a look on my topic, the first question struck in our mind that what is visualization? Visualization is basically a technique for creating images, diagram, or animations to commute a message. Visualization through visual imagery has been an effective way to communicate both abstract and concrete ideas. There are many ways to visualize, but here we will focus on the scientific data visualization. This leads us to main questions, three questions. The first one is what is data visualization? The second one is how does data visualization work? And finally, why we use them. So, come to our first question. Scientific data visualization is a simplified version or representation of a concept, phenomena, relationship, structure, and system. As the name suggests, in data visualization, we will converting raw data into easily understood pictures of informations that enable fast and effective decisions. So, why we use them? Because through this we can explore distinct and different aspects of data. As scientific data, in scientific data we will usually have some hypothetical data description. Through this we can explore the hidden patterns of data to verify or falsification of some hypothesis. Moreover, through effective visualization, we will analyze and different patterns, intrinsic patterns of data. Through this, the complex data is more accessible, readable, and usable. Finally, through the effective presentation of data, it can reduce time constraints and it can reduce difficulty to take decision from any data. So pattern, trends, and correlations that might go undeducted through theoretical based data or text based data can be explored or can be explored and depicts the hidden patterns and relationship between the data. So the main objective in data visualization is not only to display the data but to extract the meaningful insight from the scientific data visualization. Uh, uh, the main benefits are data visualization in different perspectives. And here are the some applications in data visualizations. It is widely used in retail banking, medical, and capital marking. Moreover, it also uses in many diverse fields like biomedical engineering and many more fields. So there are different means of data visualization. As you know, the ancient visualization means are bar chart, histogram, pie chart, and line graph. But these means to visualize data have some limitations. But we know that scientific data visualization are more complex and it's shape sensitive. These methods doesn't portray the exact complexity of the scientific data visualization. The new way to visualize is the interpolation. Interpolation is basically to cater these interesting property of the complex scientific data. Interpolation is a method of constructing a function that crosses through a set of known data points. There are fundamental approaches of data visualization like polynomial interpolation, spline interpolation, and fractal interpolation. In the coming slide, we will discuss briefly. As you know that polynomial interpolation such as Lagrangian and Newton is widely used in numerical analysis, but it has certain disadvantages. As we use higher degree polynomial, it gives us unwanted vehicles. On other hand, when we use the small degree polynomial, it didn't gives us flexibility. Moreover, it's a global method. It doesn't provide us local control. To overcome these loopholes, spline interpolation method is introduced, and it is piecewise function, so it gives us the local control, and it's cater the intrinsic shape properties, and moreover it gives us some freedom. So why we use fractal interpolation while spline interpolation cater all the scientific data properties? To answer these questions, first of all, we will look around us and observe and analyze different phenomena and shapes. We will see that the shapes around us and the phenomena around us are not stable. They are not regular, such as sun is not a circle, the mountain is not a triangle, and different phenomena like ring pattern and disasters data, they are not smooth. So these instabilities and irregularities force us to challenge Euclidean interpolation method and force us to enter in fractal geometry. That gives birth to fractal interpolation method to depicts the interesting properties of irregular and complex scientific data patterns. So Mandelbrot was the first one who introduced the fractal term in 1975, as he was studying the fluctuation of cotton price. No matter how he analyzed the variation of cotton price, it doesn't match with the UL distribution method. So he noticed that the daily price fluctuation and the monthly price fluctuation match independent of scale. So these things later on reason of the fractal inventions. Fractal basically is from the Latin word fractus, meaning jagged or fragmented. It's a self-similar construction of the object or phenomena in which every piece look like the same with the other pieces of the figure or phenomena. Fractal is also a mathematical object that is both recursive and quartic. It's a very complex and undescribed phenomena. The key characteristic of the fractals are self-similarity and infinite details. You can observe self-similarity in the broccoli. When we will pick the head of the broccoli, you can easily observe that these heads are the similar with the other heads of the broccoli. And here is the other example. We can have one bee, and we will use two bees on the head of one bee, and we will do the same things again and again. Means that we will continues these loops again and again. So we will have this fractal phenomena, and at every stage we will observe the different details and different complex structures. Same thing goes like these trees. At every stage from the same loop, we will have infinite details and infinite complex patterns we will get again and again. So we will see the basic construction of the fractal. It is Sierpinski carpet. Here we will take a square and convert into 9 equal squares and remove the middle one. Then we will got this picture. And after the same thing, we will apply on the remaining 8 squares and the remove middle squares. So we will have this, and applying this loop again and again. At every stage we will have a different details. Means that the characteristic of fractal to providing infinite details and complex pattern will never end. So here is other example of Sierpinski triangle. Same, we will take equilateral triangle and join the middle points by creating a new triangle and remove them. So we have 3 remaining triangle. So we will apply the same thing on this remaining 3 triangles and remove the middle triangle. So we will get this. After that, we will have the same phenomena again and again, but with different infinite details and complex pattern. So you can observe fractal everywhere, whether it is the matter of the fingerprints, or it is a matter of the tea leaf structure or the flower pattern, or even in the musical pattern. These are all known smooth and complex patterns. Mainly there are 2 types of fractal: natural fractals and geometrical fractals. Natural fractals can be observed in galaxies, in lighting pattern, in blood vessel, in retina, airways, in the lungs. While geometric patterns you can observe in this figure. Here is the manager sponge, which is the very famous example of Sierpinski carpet. Now come to the motivation of the proposed function. To cater the scientific data problem, we need to the deterministic tool which maintains smoothness and which is shape sensitive and provide local control, which only gives by using supply interpolation method. But on the other hand, as scientific data is stochastic, it contains complex pattern, and for realistic depiction, we used to introduce fractal in this method. So what if we will merge these 2 properties in one method? Here we will construct general piecewise rational cubic fractal interpolation function by merging the fractal and spline properties in the one function GPRC FIF. Here is the main core step of the construction of GPRC FIF. We will take 2 mappings, alpha and beta. Here we will apply contraction homomorphism. After this, we will construct the iterated function system gamma I by taking these 2 maps. So generating the following IFS, we will use these affine maps with the value of AI and BI. KI is called the vertical scale factor, and FIR is the continuous spline functions. and we will produce these supplying functions by applying some essential continuity conditions, while we will use these alpha, delta, rho, and omega are shape parameters to give the flexibility of the constructed interpolate. These are all positive shape parameters. So after applying this condition, we will finally have these interpolate, and these are the basic MATLAB programming. But the main problem arises when the scientific data have certain physical laws or natural constraints. Means that scientific data contains shape preservations like positivity, monotonicity, convexity. These problems are very high when we will encounter in scientific data visualization. So because wrong visualization lead us to mismanagement or misconception. So to avoid these things, we will impose certain conditions to acquire these properties one by one. Here are the different examples as age, height of a person, number of computers in computer laboratory, and population in specific area is the real example of positivity attributes, and elevated blood pressure and risk of heart attack and many more are the example of monotonicity in scientific data visualization. Some here in nonlinear programming and optical control, we will have the attribute of convexity in data visualization. So how positivity is preserved through our proposed GPRC FIF. For this, we will impose some condition in these theorems on scaling factors and shape parameters. By imposing these conditions, we will attain the particular attribute of the positivity by setting shape parameters free. So here is test data for positivity, and the first shape is constructed from journal GPRC FIF. You can observe that it gives us wrong depiction. So by imposing our proposed theorem, we can have this, which preserve the positivity of the scientific data. And here are the second iteration of the proposed method, which also preserve the same property. And here in the third figure, figure 1D, we will show the effect of free parameters. Through this, the user can have flexible depictions according to their. The second one is monotonicity. Here are the other theorem which preserve monotonicity by rigorous calculation. We will impose some conditions. So here test data of monotone by applying simple. It doesn't preserve the monotonicity, as you can see that, but applying our method by imposing conditions, we will have this portrait or visualization which preserve monotonicity, and in the second iteration it's also preserved the monotonicity. And here is the effect of free parameters to depict the. So finally convexity theorem is shown over here, and these are the conditions. By following these conditions, we'll have the convex attribute of the scientific data. So these are the second iteration and the effect of free parameters. But the problem didn't stop over here. In engineering, we will have certain conditions on scientific data when the data should above the line or below the line, or between the line, like bridges, to construct bridges and underpass, or certain bounding rectangles. So here are some new theorems that are introduced to acquire the shapes. So a constraint data above the line, these data should lie above the line, but in first shape, it goes below the line. By applying the proposed condition, the data will lie above the line, and in the second iteration, it's also above the line. And these are the flexibility of the parameters shown in these figures. So same case goes with the below the line constructions. These are the parameters, restricted constraints that are imposed on the interplant to acquire the shape below the line. The first figure, without imposing our constraints, are constructed. In this figure, you can easily see that the depiction or portrait of the data goes above the line, but after applying the proposed condition, the data is strictly is below the line. These are the iterations, and further conditions are imposed, and these are the test data constrained between two lines. After imposing the certain conditions, the data is strictly between these two lines. So is in the rectangle. Imposing the conditions on free parameters, the data lie in the rectangle. Even in the second iteration, even in the effect of free parameters. So in conclusion, we will compare our proposed scheme with the existing schemes. Our proposed method is the generalization of the existing method described in reference 8. And by taking scale factor equals to 0, we will get the smooth curve for positivity and monotonicity as described in 8 and 10. So our proposed method have certain attributes. As in scheme 1 and 3 and 17, we will acquire attributes by inserting extra nodes, while in our scheme, we doesn't need any extra nodes. Our scheme is giving us the local control, while in 4, it's a global scheme. So we doesn't impose any restriction on the derivatives, and it is unique degree in each subinterval. Furthermore, our proposed scheme gives 2 degree of freedom, while in 11, 12, and 20 doesn't provide any freedom to acquire certain shapes. And so, in conclusion, our proposed model is the best example of a hybrid model. It has dual properties, like when we want to acquire smooth attributes, we can take scale factor kappa near to 0 or exactly 0, and after giving different values to kappa I, we will get complex shapes. Our method is iterative. We don't need any extra nodes. It's a very generalization methods, and it is equally applicable on equally and equally spaced data. Our scheme is local, and it gives us the local control. We can take any shape of data with extra degree of freedom. Here is the key references. Thank you.
Thank you for we don't have much time. Any question from the audience? If not, let us thank the speaker again. Our next talk will start in 1 minute.